Now I know what you're thinking. A Nuzlocke on the Isle of Armor in the Crown Tundra? Is it even possible? Well, I'm gonna attempt one with only fighting types, and I'm gonna go all the way to the final double battle facing Raihan and Leon. The encounters are pretty interesting. Here on the left, we have the Isle of Armor lineup, excluding the sword exclusives Passimian, Scrafty, and Komo-o. And on the right shows the Crown Tundra's only 2 available fighting types remaining along with 1 mystery. The rules are gonna be a tad different than the usual hardcore Nuzlocke. First, you got your typical ones. When a Pokemon faints, it's dead. No items in battle, but held items are okay. Set battle mode. And here are the DLC differences. I can only catch the first fighting type encounter from each route or area in the DLC. None from the base Galar map. And no leveling past the next boss's ace Pokemon until the start of that battle. These include Avery, Mustard, and the Galarian Star Tournament. So let's officially start this challenge. Welcome to the Collette Show! A Corviknight flies us over to the Isle of Armor where we meet this kid who's scared of his escort to the dojo. Come on, is he really that bad? Oh my goodness, who dresses you? And I thought I had some reaching puns. Here I thought Amnesia was Slowpoke's move. A poor lost Wooloo. Did you use hypnosis on me? I'm in Psyshock. And how does he make those Pokeballs float around his top hat? Does he have powers? Is he gonna be a busted character in Legends Arceus? Who knows? What I do know is I'm able to find a Heracross at the Training Lowlands. The name theme is gonna be Super Smash Bros. Fighters, whose franchise I likely won't do a name theme with in the future. Thus, Heracross is named Shulk.
I'm really feeling it.
Next, I head to Loop Lagoon to catch Grapploct and name Terry.
Are you okay?
Then, over at the Soothing Wetlands, I meet a Krogunk with the awesome name of Captain Falcon.
Yes!
And finally, I run into a Mienfoo at Challenge Road, naming him Little Mac. Hit him, baby! Now there is already a glaring problem with this Nuzlocke. All of the Pokemon I just caught were found at level 60. To make sure I don't have an overpowered team versus my opponents, I will match the evolutions I can have according to the boss battle teams. For example, all of Mustard's Pokemon are not evolved, therefore I cannot evolve any of mine along with a level cap of 61. Shulk blocks the Mienfoo's Fake Out with Protect, then hits hard with a, and I quote, super duper effective aerial ace. Then he resists the Force Palm but does get paralyzed. With Mienfoo now faster, he pieces out with U-turn, tagging in Shinx, whose ability Intimidate lowers our attack stat and comfortably takes our not very effective aerial ace. Shinx starts the next turn attacking with Spark, bringing Shulk down to the yellow, but retaliates with a powerful Mega Horn, piercing Shinx to 0 HP. Mienfoo is back and I'm unable to block their Fake Out due to being fully paralyzed. Not wanting Shulk to die, I switch in Terry to deal with the Force Palm instead. Mienfoo strikes with Force Palm again, but this time no paralysis is inflicted, and Terry ends the battle with a superpower. Winning that battle earns us the dojo uniform, which is what we need preparatory to the 3 trials, to which the winner will receive the secret armor. Mustard then reveals the first trial: chase down the Slowpokes, then defeat the Slowpokes.
Whoa! That snail is fast! What? Are you seeing this?
They may be fast, but they're still not very bright Pokemon since I can simply cut them off. And their speed is not only an active show, they actually are fast in battle too, being EV trained to the max. Slowpoke goes first using Psychic, but Shulk hits back harder with Mega Horn. The other 2 Slowpoke are intercepted and defeated easily with Mega Horns as well. After returning to the dojo to report my success, it is revealed that I was the only one able to defeat the Slowpokes. Other students were able to catch up to the dopey Pokemon, but lost in battle. So Mustard makes an exception to allow anyone who at least caught up to a Slowpoke to move on to round 2. Excuse me? Avery must be lying because I've seen his team. He can beat a Slowpoke, so clearly he lied saying he caught up to one. Anyways, the second trial is stated to pick some max mushrooms. I head outside but am followed by Mustard, who decides to show me where some mushroom hotspots are since I am new to the island. I thought this was cheating at first, but all those other losers didn't even complete the first trial, so I deem this fair. I enter warm-up tunnel, pick some wild mushrooms, then Avery appears out of nowhere saying he sensed the mushrooms with his psychic presence long before I arrived at them. What kind of logic is that? So we decide to have a battle with the drugs at stake. I mean the mushrooms at stake. Since Avery has one evolved Pokemon on his team this time, I evolved Little Mac into Mienshao before tracing the mushrooms. Shulk still is the leader of the gang, throat chopping the Slowpoke, but its bulk helps him barely live the attack, so the Slowpoke counters with confusion and confuses Shulk. Not wanting to gamble Shulk's life in any way, I swap in Little Mac to take the confusion, which only does half the damage thanks to the Payapa Berry, cutting in half the damage from a super effective psychic attack. Little Mac then finishes off Slowpoke with a U-turn, also pivoting Shulk back into the fight. Avery's next Mon is Woobat, who isn't as thick as his Slowpoke, so one throat chop this time will one-hit KO. Now Avery's Kadabra is a threat if left unchecked. He's fast and slaps hard. That's why I equipped Shulk with a Choice Scarf, locking us in the first move we use, but increases our speed by 50%, allowing us to outspeed Kadabra, one-shotting with Throat Chop. I report my winning back to Mustard at the dojo and learn all of the students got lost in the forest. Who are these students? You'd think the guy who trained the former champion would have recruited some better options. Well, I guess Avery did find some shrooms. He probably bought them drugs from some beach bum on the island. Honey even confirms that Avery doesn't try very hard in life. As a reward, I drink the Max soup and feel the Dynamax energy welling from inside. Before the final trial facing off against Avery, he has multiple Pokemon that are evolved. Therefore, I evolve Captain Falcon into a Toxicroak. And I don't know what it is, I just really like this stadium. Very simple, yet feels like a training grounds. He starts with Ponyta and I with Shulk. Plus, he immediately gets to somehow summon Psychic Terrain. Like how? Well, Shulk continues the / rampage with Throat Chop. Not only that, after Ponyta faints, I prepped for this battle by finding the Flame Orb in the Pot Bottom Desert and had Shulk hold it. Now Shulk is burned since he's holding it. If you're wondering why I'd burn my own Pokemon, Shulk's ability is Guts, meaning instead of losing attack power, he gets 50% attack boosted when inflicted with a status. I did this to power up Shulk without having to risk being hit by a psychic attack. Also, he's EV trained in attack and speed, enabling him to outspeed the Swoobat who otherwise would. The same goes for Kadabra. No Choice Scarf needed this time. Now it's time for Avery's Ace, Galarian Slowbro. I love the design, but hate facing it. We both Dynamax our Mons, and Shulk strikes first with Max Quake, but doesn't quite get the kill. He does receive a special defense boost, which helps him survive the Psychic Terrain boosted Max Mindstorm. Unfortunately, the next turn, what I was nervous about actually happens. Slowbro's ability Quick Draw activates, speeding up Slowbro to strike first this time and knocking out my helpless Shulk. Terry quickly arrives at the scene asking if his buddy is okay, but he's not. Filled with vengeance, Terry holds strong while their Quick Draw ability activates again. But Terry does eat the Payapa Berry, which is the sole reason he was able to tank the Max Mindstorm. He then responds with a brutal swing, crumbling the giant hermit to its knees and making us the winner of Mustard's third trial. Now I get my reward, the secret armor. What? That's not armor. It's a little Build-A-Bear. Excuse me, I got one of these for my son's birthday already. And look at that nature. Plus special attack minus defense.
Looking cool, Joker.
Do you at least come with a gun? Whatever, it's time to take it on a stroll to some scenery. Wow, this ocean view would be a lot better if it weren't raining. And I don't get what's so amazing about looking at this cave. And the overcast during the view just kind of ruins it for me. A desert? You really made me bike all the way over here for a desert? Now we're somehow best friends according to Cupfu. The friendship is definitely one-sided. Mustard then offers the option to choose the Tower of Water or the Tower of Darkness. And you know me, happy-go-lucky, so I choose Darkness.
Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness?
Who does the sickest brick breaks with the fists of steel? Who could chokehold a squid? Who never skips croc hunting? Who always loses to Mustard? Not Batman! With Dark Urshifu by my side, what are you doing here, Hop? Alright, so it's Sonia's assistant. You must be knowledgeable enough to help me find the nectar Urshifu likes so he can Dynamax. Lilligant's nectar? Wrong. Applin's nectar? Wrong. Alright, buddy, while you figure it out, I'm gonna gather a few more team members since I no longer have any restrictions. In Brawler's Cave, I caught a Poliwag, evolved it up to a Poliwrath, and named her Mega Man. At the Fields of Honor, a Ralts was caught, evolved up to a Gallade, and is named Steve. Then I train Little Mac until his attack stat is as high as it will go. Hop calls me up to meet him at the Honeycomb Island to find Urshifu Nectar. He said to check out the tree, which sucks me into a Max Raid battle den. Fearing the flying type Vespiquen, I Dynamax Little Mac right away to Max Rockfall, which is 4 times super effective, inflicting more than 50% damage. Vespiquen attacks back with Max Airstream, but thankfully Little Mac eats his Copa Berry, reducing the super effective flying attack damage in half. Otherwise, our whole team would have been screwed. Little Mac uses Max Rockfall again. All of that for a comb of honey. Hey, where was Hop at? I was too shocked to even think of joining you in battle. So you left me to die? Having learned my lesson that I can't trust anyone but myself, I EV trained Steve's HP stat to the max, along with a good chunk of attack EVs. After completing all the quests on the Isle of Armor, facing Mustard in his final form is all that's left. Me and Xiao begins the game with a Fake Out. I purposely didn't protect and was hoping they'd use Fake Out. Steve's ability Steadfast raises his speed every time he flinches, now making us faster than most of Mustard's team. Then heals some HP from lefties abilities at the end of the turn. Steve then Swords Dances to increase his attack 2 stages while Mienshao close combats, which I EV trained Galade enough in HP to live a critical hit just in case. Steve goes into attack mode with Psycho Cut, OHKOing the Mienshao. Now I wasn't expecting his Corviknight to come out next, and the only way I can knock it out in one hit is to Dynamax early and blast Max Flare, melting the Steel Bird. Luxray enters with her Intimidate ability, dropping our attack stat 1 stage. Steve is still powerful enough to use Max Mindstorm, not only knocking out Luxray, but also setting up the Psychic Terrain. Lycanroc could do some damage here with its Play Rough attack and is faster than us even with our earlier boost, but instead goes for Stealth Rocks, leaving them wide open to a Max Quake getting the KO, but is also the end of our Dynamax. Como ain't much of a threat with powered up Psycho Cut on its home turf of Psychic Terrain. With Urshifu as Mustard's ace, this is where I prepare to say bye-bye to Steve. He does pull off one last Psycho Cut, dealing major damage, but then Mustard foolishly goes for a G-Max Rapid Flow. He must have forgotten the Harsh Sun was out because it didn't even get the kill, and if he Max Steel Spiked instead, he would have killed our precious Steve. So Steve takes the opportunity to finish off the gigantic bear and win the Isle of Armor portion of this Nuzlocke. GG, Mustard. If you're liking the video so far, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Ah, the Crown Tundra. It's so freaking cold there, and I'm in a freaking Karate Kid uniform. But things heat up immediately when a daughter and her dad get into an argument, and for some reason I decide to get involved and take the daughter's side. Why? I don't know. I don't know these people, but the battle begins anyways. And he's only got 2 steel types. How hard can this be? I have Joker Close Combat the Copperaja, dead. I have Joker Close Combat Aggron, dead. Oh, shoot! I forgot about his Sturdy ability, allowing him to hang on at 1 HP. And since I used Close Combat twice, my defense has dropped twice, meaning Aggron's Body Press gets the 1-hit knockout. And there goes my best Mon in this whole run. Geez, sorry bud, I got careless. Mega Man steps in, clocking the Aggron, defeating Peony. Looks like I'm not the only one distraught though. His daughter just ran off without letting him know. I think they both have some family issues. So I go to the Max Lair with him to help him find his daughter. While doing some Dynamax adventures with him, I come across a Beware and add him to my team with the name of Villager, because they both have that death stare. I find Peony's daughter and she tells me her name is Peonia. She tells me she just needs some space from her dad because he wants to spend every second with her. This news causes Peony literal pain, so to cheer him up, I hang out with him in place of his daughter. He then kindly gives me the expedition form since it's freezing here. Oh man, does this guy have issues. This rock is his pillow. It's huge, and he finds it super comfortable. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I convinced him to let me have it for the sake of his neck. Then I go outside and plop it on this statue. Who's over there? Is that an alien? I go check out who's spying on me, and then it challenges me. I have Steed lead the charge since he isn't weak to psychic attacks like the rest of the team. This thing may have a big looking brain, but doesn't actually have a big brain because they heal pulse. But it does have some bulk, not even losing half of its life from a Night Slash. Next time they Psyshock, but Steve's special defense is great, and their last hit is a Giga Drain. But after 2 more Night Slashes, the fake brain is knocked unconscious. Afterwards, the alien takes over Peony's body to use as a speaking vessel. I am Calyrex, known as the King of Bountiful Harvest. He continues, if you wish to see your fellow Peony alive, you will retrieve my steed. Not wanting Peonia to lose her dad, I rush over to the cemetery to plant some seeds and harvest a Shade Root Carrot. All of a sudden, the village is under attack. I try to calm down the horse they call Spectrier, and in response, it charges at me. I legitimately totally forgot yet to fight this horse, but I think we're okay. Since Steve is allergic to ghost types, Villager tags in for him, but is smacked by a super effective double kick. The Spectrier tries to Shadow Ball her, but her normal typing makes her immune. Mega Man swings back with Brutal Swing twice, securing the village's safety, or so I thought. Grandma! The alien Calyrex has a change of heart and realizes the fright he has caused. He and I decided it would be best if we captured the beast, so we tricked it into eating the carrots we reaped from earlier. But then, Calyrex betrays us.
So now she needs a little tenderness. She needs a little understanding. Needs a little Kramer, huh?
He now controls the beast, and once again challenges me. Now I could actually beat this guy with Captain Falcon holding a choice band using Sucker Punch, since they're 4 times weak to dark and are frail. But you have to catch them, so I chuck one of my 2 Master Balls. I check in on Peony, and he seems to be recovering well from being mind controlled. He informs me there are more threats to be neutralized in the Crown Tundra. Thus begins the hunt for the giants. To prepare for this endeavor, I go find a Conqueror at the giant's bed, naming her Ryu. Then I navigate myself to the roaring sea caves where I catch a Lucario and name him
Lucario!
To unlock each fight with the giants, you have to solve an easy puzzle, then highlight these circles. Regirock is awakened, but Ryu has nothing to fear. The Regi hammer arms first, but is no match to our low kicks. So much for a scary giant, but it's here where I learned you have to catch them all. You can't simply defeat them. It took a while, but Ryu's typing is vastly superior to Regirock, so eventually I catch the Regirock. So after quite a few tries, from either the Regi dying or us getting down to low HP, forcing us to run, Villager paralyzes the Regi Ice by body slamming. Then many turns later, Ryu just consistently gets slammed while Regi Ice doesn't die. Leftovers helps out, but when I get to low HP, I run. Many Dusk Balls later, Regi Ice is caught. Registeel is even weaker, dying to the first low kick. Registeel is the penultimate Regi to catch, and I decide to go for a less interesting strategy. Throw a quick ball, and if it fails, run away. Took 7 attempts, so that wasn't too bad. Now for the last Regi, I get to pick either the electric or the dragon one. I pick Regieleki since it wouldn't do as much damage as Regidrago's signature move, Dragon Energy. However, there's 2 things I forgot to consider: Regieleki's speed and its signature move, Thunder Cage. With Regieleki being the fastest Pokemon ever to exist, it's very difficult to run from battle. And sometimes I don't even get the option because when they Thunder Cage, I not only cannot run, I get damaged each turn. So I just gotta kill the thing. Change of plans, let's catch Regidrago instead. Uh-oh. I tried entering the alternate code, but once you've already picked one, you're stuck with your choice. I keep trying and trying to catch this thing. And in Nuzlocke, it's a lot more stressful because you have to consider critical hits and all that. Much different than catching it casually. So someone is bound to die sometime, and that someone is unfortunately Ryu. Steve is my next best shot, but it's such an annoying way to do things. You fail the quick ball, you try with Ultra and Dusk Balls later, but you can't sit there forever and you gotta run, otherwise another Pokemon is gonna die. As I continue attempt after attempt, my Pro Controller's drift kicks in, and as I'm about to click quick ball, it suddenly changes to Master Ball. I'm shocked and freeze. I even go to the Switch home screen thinking, what have I done? You get one Master Ball from the Sword Shield post-game and another from the Crown Tundra. And the reason I spazzed out a little there is because I wanted to save the Master Ball for one of the birds because, you know, they're flying types. Well, what's done is done. We just gotta move on to the last Crown Tundra mission. I travel over to the legendary tree where a Galarian Moltres gets a snack, but then a riot starts with all 3 of them attacking each other. Then my phone's ringtone goes off and I'm looking like a little boy in church trying to shut my phone off while these 3 are staring me down. Then they part ways. I go back to my player's character roots, the base map of Galar, specifically the original wild area. After burning my thighs with much pedaling, I catch up to Zapdos. It uses focus energy, then Steve one-shots with a Psycho Cut. And this is where I start to contemplate the Nuzlocke rules. I chase down Zapdos. I try to catch it. I either KO it or have to run, then rinse and repeat. Frankly, this isn't fun at all. Chasing down Zapdos takes a few minutes, then I only get a couple minutes at the max to catch it. I do this over and over, and it's simply not fun. It actually doesn't feel like a Nuzlocke. I enjoy Nuzlocks because of the strategy and the battles. Therefore, I'm changing the rules for this run and any future DLC runs I do. I'm gonna treat these legendary Pokemon that are required to catch like boss battles instead, meaning I encounter them, I fight them, then after winning, encounter them again to chuck a Master Ball. That's a lot more appealing to focus on battling rather than catching. I'm curious to know your thoughts as well on how this should be handled. So since I've already defeated Zapdos, I trade over some Master Balls from another save file and catch Zapdos. Next, I journey back to the Isle of Armor to start a brawl with Galarian Moltres. I have Lucario handle this one since he's not weak to flying moves thanks to his steel typing. Moltres fails to Sucker Punch because I Swords Dance to increase my attack. Their next Sucker Punch does connect, doing little damage, and Lucario smacks back much harder with a close combat that KOs. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. Ah, there you are, Articuno. Lucario goes for a Rock Slide, but unfortunately no flinch. Articuno uses its signature move, Freezing Glare, which deals quite a chunk of damage, but at least they didn't get the freeze. Lucario Rock Slides again, getting the knockout on the bird. With the 3 missions completed, I obtain this cool golden outfit, and I get a phone call from Leon asking me to head over to Winden Stadium. And everyone is here. Hop, Avery, Kabu, Bede, my girl Opal, Nessa, Ryan, Alistar, Melanie, Piers, Marnie, and of course Leon. He announces the new Galarian Star Tournament. Single elimination bracket with the catch of every round being multi-battles, but you can't enter unless you find a partner. Nessa, will you team up with me? Sorry, I have a boyfriend. Maybe Bede? You're not worthy. Kabu? Alistar? I even ask Milo, but they all say no. What about Ball Guy? Aw man, he's too overpowered to enter the tourney. Also, Terry the Grappaloct is gonna have to be benched due to the full party.
All right. I'm going in. Be careful, Kramer.
I should have gone in with him.
No, you stay here in the car. I may need you.
What do you need me in the car for? I might need you to get me a soda.
Do I really have to team up with Hop? Come on, you've seen his team choices and how he battles. We're probably gonna lose the first round versus Milo and Nessa. Looks like they opt for the double water lead, while Hop uses Double. Captain Falcon protects the first turn, blocking the fake out from Ludicolo. Double slams into Ludicolo with Double Edge, and Falcon also blocks Galissopod's liquidation. The next turn, Double and I double into the Galissopod slot, Double Edge, and
Falcon punch!
this paralyzes them and procs their emergency exit ability, bringing in Toxapex. Ludicolo chips more damage onto Double. Toxapex basically can't do anything to my Falcon, so I'm going all in on Milo. Double Cotton Guards, increasing his defense, and I poison jab the Ludicolo, drawing first blood. Toxapex tries to use liquidation, but Falcon's dry skin ability makes him immune to water moves. So they Baneful Bunker next, while Cherim sets up a Sunny Day, unlocking its Super Saiyan form. Double's attack fails, and since Toxapex used the bunker, the sheep is now poisoned. Falcon acts like Frieza and ends the Flower Saiyan's time with a poison jab. Milo's ace is now on the field, Appleton. We each Dynamax our Pokemon. Cool Toad versus Tasty Apple. Double edges the dragon, and Falcon drops a max ooze on it as well, getting its HP down to the low yellow. Toxapex finishes off Double with Venoshock, and Appleton retaliates with a pathetic G-Max Sweetness. What hurts Falcon the most is the harsh stun, losing 1/8 of his base HP. Like I said, Hop is just slowing me down. You brought Zacian? Now that doggo is OP. It Behemoth Blades their giant fruit dragon, while I look like the weak one max knuckling the Toxapex. Next turn, Zacian crunches and I max knuckle, forcing Nessa to bring back the Galissopod. A simple crunch from Zacian takes care of it. Do I even need to do anything for the rest of this battle? Apparently not. Nessa's last Mon, Dreadnought, dies to a single close combat from Zacian. That dog is not only crazy strong, but also crazy fast. The semifinal round faces us off against Alistair and Melanie. They start off with their spooky Pokemon. Yes, Mr. Rhyme is a spooky Pokemon. I don't know how, but they did confirm it here. Double has the same idea as me, double edging that creepy Mr. Rhyme. I lead with Villager this battle and had him hold a choice band, locking us into one move, but our attack increases by 50%. Thus, Darkest Lariat wipes out the Monopoly Man. Then yeah, Dusknoir punches with fire, but my ability is not fluffy, so we good. The Ice Monkey Darmanitan is sent in and goes first with an Icicle Crash, almost taking out the sheep. Double then uses a Cotton Guard, but I think it's a little too late for that, buddy. Villager tries to avenge our friend, who was hit hard with Darkest Lariat, swinging into Darmanitan, dealing over 50% damage. Then Dusknoir fire punches Double, but he hangs in there thanks to the defense boost he just got. And whoa, Darmanitan is now a snowman on fire. The snowman flare blitzes, defeating Double, while Villager avenges his sheep friend, crumbling the snowman. Dusknoir fire punches again, trying to help his side somehow, some way. I think Double fainting is always a good thing, because when it's gone, Zacian brings the freaking fire, OHKOing the Lapras with close combat. Villager continues swinging his arms all over the place, but Dusknoir is still sticking around fire punching. Zacian chews him up the next turn, and Zacian does not stop. The poor Cursula dies to a single crunch, dying with a sad face. It gets even worse for them. In multi-battles, you can only Dynamax when it's your turn. Melanie didn't get to Dynamax when Lapras was out, and neither can Gengar, meaning Zacian gets another snack to crunch on. What a sweep that was. Oh, I think someone's at my door.
Oh, thanks, Gravelocked.
Alright, it's time for the finals against Leon, the former champion, and the Dragon Gym leader, Ryan. Now, Ryan always has that pesky quick Flygon. So before this battle, I gave Captain Falcon a Choice Scarf to hold, increasing his speed by 50%, yet being locked into Ice Punch. Double's normal attack fails, since Aegislash is a ghost type, and dang does he hit back hard. He used a Steel Beam, which annihilates the sheep, but that's okay, cause hello, Zacian. Aegislash puts up his defenses with the King's Shield. Zacian gets the one-hit KO with Behemoth Blade on the poor Gudra. Thus, my Ice Punch fails against the King's Shield and lowers my attack stat. Duraludon is Raihan's last Pokemon, and you know that thing is toast with Zacian coming at it with close combat. Aegislash resists our Ice Punch well, then tries to take down Zacian since that is the clear threat to them. Clearly, Captain Falcon can't do much anymore with Ice Punch, so I switch in Lucario in his place. By the time Lucario lands from the Pokeball, Zacian has already chewed up the Royal Steed. Leon sends out Dragapult next, which is a great counter pick since it's actually one of the few things faster than Zacian, and incinerates the legendary legendary with a flamethrower. OP legendary is now gone. After that, Lucario crunches the Dragapult, but no KO. Hop not only brings in his starter, but also Gigantamax's Cinderace. Dragapult still goes first, dealing damage, and gets the double whammy, burning with flamethrower. Lucario eats its Citrus Berry to heal up a little. Cinderace uses Max Steel Spike, and I crunch, beating down the Dragapult back to his owner. Leon gets a tad bit lucky, getting the Gigantamax turn when Charizard is summoned. Lucario goes first with extreme speed, but with the attack drop and being burned, it does so little. Charizard slams a super effective Max Rockfall onto Cinderace, while Hop for some reason uses a G-Max Fireball. Lucario can't do anything, so I bring back Captain Falcon, who just straight up dies from a G-Max Wildfire. And it didn't help that his Dry Skin ability makes him weaker to fire moves too. Cinderace Max uses, and yet again, little damage is done. Steve is my special defense tank, so let's bring him in. Also, Cinderace's Gigantamax ends. The giant Charizard Max Airstreams my Steve, but he hangs in there. Told you he had amazing special defense. And what is Hop doing? Low sweep? Step aside, dude. Without Zacian, you're nothing. Steve rock slides and ends the Galarian Star Tournament, crowning Hop and I the champions of the Sword and Shield DLC. That run was interesting. I'm really curious to see what you all thought of it as well. Definitely has potential with maybe a few changes. So if you enjoyed it, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. You all have a good one. Thanks.